Hello, everyone. I'm Mena Maimone from Maimone Legal. You may know me as the pink attorney, as Danny says I need to call myself. And I'm here with wonderful Ashley, who we've been able to spend some time with. And I'm going to miss you when I go back
Aw,
to
me
Fort Lauderdale.
too.
But we came out here to hang out with you a little bit for you
Yeah.
to show us around and spend some nice days together. So
Yeah, it
you
was
want to tell us
fun. It was awesome.
about
Yeah,
you?
sure. I'm Ashley, and I'm native to Texas, born and raised here. Lived in DFW almost all my life. Did spend some time in Austin, where I went to school for a few years, and then in Houston. But love the DFW area. Have raised my kids here, and yeah, just consider this my home. So I'm so excited that you guys are planting some roots here in Texas.
Yeah, we're
And that I got
excited
to kind of show you around
Yeah.
and just excited about.
So I called you a couple weeks ago and I
Yeah.
was like, Ashley, I fell in love with Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, of course.
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the area? What, you work with Canadians already.
Mm-hmm.
We can really help anyone from all over the world because Texas has become such a popular place to move to.
Right.
Want to tell us why you think that is?
Yeah, I've been working a lot of relocation lately, and I think there's so many great things about Texas. First of all, like the Southern hospitality that people talk about is a real thing, because even
People
you
are so
mentioned that.
nice.
People are so friendly here. And so it just feels like home for people, even people that haven't been here before. So I think that's a huge part of it. But also Texas really just has its own economy. Like the economy here, even when it may not be doing well in other parts of the United States, it just seems to always be thriving here. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity here.
A lot of growth, a lot of attraction.
Yeah.
And then for somebody, maybe from Canada, I don't know anything, we connect with someone like you. We kind of drove you crazy a little bit going to different areas.
No, it was awesome.
Went Fort Worth and
yeah.
And so where do you think are some communities that might be good for a family that are just relocated? You told us about your Canadian couple that moved down here.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about the
So the
areas?
great thing about this, what we call the DFW, so it's Dallas, Fort Worth, and a lot of surrounding suburbs. So the great thing about this area is that it's really close to get to the city of Fort Worth, if you're working in Fort Worth, to get to the city of Dallas. So if you're a city person and you want to live in a city, there's great opportunities here. But then there's also suburbs around that are close, that's close as far as a commute. We have really great schools in the DFW area. There's some really great school systems for people.
Private or public?
Private and public.
Okay.
But a lot of great public school systems for people that may not want to pay for private school. And then also just access to great medical care, great shopping, restaurants, entertainment. Everything is very close, even if you get out into a suburban area. So I think that's a huge draw for families that want to move and really plant some roots here.
I think Canadians are used to driving a lot. I know personally when I lived in Bolton, Ontario, everything was like 45 minutes away. Even to go to a movie theater would be 20 minutes, but that was like the only thing to do within 20 minutes. And so what I realized here is even though it feels like you're in the country, which is really awesome, and you're not disturbed by anyone, everything is like 5-10 minutes away.
Right. There's always something close.
That's really unique.
Right, that you don't have to drive across town.
I want to talk about the Barnominium. That is so cool to me.
So what a lot of people are doing is if they want to be on land, purchasing land and then building what's called a barndominium. So it's like a barn shell, a barn structure. So from the outside, it can look like a barn, and it can be as rustic or as fancy as you want it to be. You can have it, fully done from the inside out, or a lot of people will put the shell up, have the shell put up with the foundation, and then go in and finish out the inside. So that's become really popular in Texas.
Okay, so going back to our family, we're just moving here from Canada. We're used to spending maybe $1.5–2 million on an independent home. What can I get out here?
Yeah.
Like, what's my price
So
point?
that's another huge draw for people to come to Texas, because the cost of living here, not just real estate, but the cost of living in general is so much more affordable than other parts of the United States. But just for example, and it depends on which part of the Metroplex that you're in. If you go a little bit further south in the Metroplex, so closer to the Fort Worth area, you can get a brand new 2,600 square foot, really nicely built house with a lot of upgrades for under $500,000.
Amazing. And some of the properties you sent us, you were telling us about your aunt who moved out to this wonderful community. They're gated communities.
Gated communities. We have a lot of master planned communities. So master planned communities will have, anywhere from like a swimming pool, and then some of them have a huge water park. There's actually a master planned community up north in Prosper, Texas, which is just north of Dallas. And they have a full water park and a lagoon.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing.
So your kids will never be bored.
Right. So you can go and just, live there and have entertainment in the summer. And
so you're a mom. So a lot of our clients, a lot of people that we meet are petrified to kind of remove their kids from what they're familiar with and take them to a new place like Dallas or Fort Worth. As a mom, how do you feel about the safety, about the community, the school? How do you feel about all that, living here your whole life?
That's a great question. And I've helped a lot of families move here with kids. And again, the great thing is so many of the neighborhoods just have a community feel. So I helped some clients move here from Canada 2 years ago, and they moved to a master plan community knowing nobody. She started taking her kids to the swimming pool in the summer, and that's how she met all of her friends. So she was able to meet a community of people within the community that they lived in. So I think it's a great place to move with a family. The family atmosphere in so many of the suburbs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area are just great. Like I said, the schools are great. There's so many great extracurricular activities for the kids.
And even the safety, like you feel comfortable with your daughters. You have one son. You feel comfortable with them going out and you're not worried.
No, I think it's...
A lot of Canadians talk about guns. They're petrified of the guns, right? They think that come to Texas, there's going to be a bunch of cowboys with a gun on their hip walking around.
Have you seen that?
No. This is my third time here. No, I've yet to see a gun. I've yet to feel fearful in any way. But you can kind of speak to that.
Sure.
Have you ever been fearful that something like that?
No. I mean, like I said, I've lived in Texas all my life. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody walking around with a gun. I mean, I will tell you, Texans love their guns. But they keep them at home. And
they're like a hobby.
Right, for a hobby or hunting or that kind of thing. So. No, I think that's just
stereotype.
That's kind of a stereotype, just like that you're going to be driving around and see a cowboy riding a horse down the road, which does happen. I have seen it, but it's not going to be normal, right?
More likely to see the cowboy on the horse than the gun, I think.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we went to the stockyards, which I love. And we see a bunch of people who have like a pet bull. And they're like walking their bull down the side of the, hilarious. So I just feel that. And we talked about this before, and I think you said that one of your clients had mentioned it, that Texas kind of feels like the happy medium between Canada and Florida, where you have the great weather, you have the opportunities for your business, for career, and then you have the pros of Canada, where it's not super hot all year. We were just talking about the seasons.
We have seasons here, which a lot of people really love.
A couple months of winter, which you get to wear your jacket, and very beautiful at Christmas time. And so it's not overly hot, and so you can kind of enjoy that. And then me and my mom kept saying, a lot of the homes look, because they're all new construction, and that happened in Canada quite a bit. So a lot of the homes remind me of Canada. So I feel like if someone's a little reluctant to go to Florida because maybe it's too much, then they could kind of
This reminds them maybe more of home.
I think so. I think also, there's a lot of we were just talking about it outside, there's a lot of big companies that relocated to this area. And we were talking about the fastest growing community in the United States. So the population is growing. Even for investment purposes, if you're a Canadian who wants to just invest in a property here. Amazing opportunity compared to the Greater Toronto area or what's available in Canada. So a lot of great things happening. Texas is a great place for real estate, whether it's an investment property or your primary residence, just because you can get so much home for your money here. It's amazing. So with my experience so far in Texas, and I've helped quite a few clients move to Texas and open small businesses. I think one of the contributing factors in making that business grow is the population growth. So all of that plays a role. And the cost of living, obviously that's going to translate into the cost of running your business. I think all of that kind of comes into play. So what have you seen in terms of your clients that own small businesses or startup businesses?
I think Texas in general is just really small business friendly. So I think there's a lot of opportunities. And like you said, with the growth, there's so many suburban areas around Dallas and Fort Worth that the population has just exploded. since COVID. So that has brought so many people into the area, a lot of small business opportunities, but then also just a lot of people to feed into, into those businesses that people might be starting here. So
and let's not even bring up the taxes. I mean, Canadians are used to giving half their paycheck away. Here, there's no state income tax.
No income tax.
So you're just dealing with federal.
Right.
And
Federal
there's
property tax.
Recently been a lot of changes that are really favorable to business. So anyone who's considering it, just do it.
Yeah.
You got all the tools.
It's a great place to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. If you need help, Ashley was the perfect person to come to.
Yeah.
And we've just had a wonderful experience with you so far.
I know. I'm so glad that y'all were here and that y'all love the state of Texas so much.
I got to start saying y'all.
Y'all.
So
you got to start saying y'all.